My name's Beth Curlett. I'm currently a police sergeant based on the neighbourhood policing team in Northampton. I originally joined the police in 2011 when I joined as a special constable, and then I eventually joined the regulars a couple of years later, where I worked on response for 2 years. Following that, I went into a child protection role, worked in child sexual exploitation and the paedophile online investigation team. I then went off work to have a baby, came back and got promoted into the role of a sergeant. It was interesting for me because I'd already been a special constable, so I knew what to expect. Prior to that, I didn't even know what cannabis smelt like. I was really innocent and probably quite naive. But yeah, you're really well supported, so I was tutored for 10 weeks. It wasn't so daunting, and when you're on response, there's a lot of camaraderie, so you have the support of your teammates around you to help you through those moments that you think, oh, not too sure about that. I remember it was one of the first domestics that I ever got deployed to, and it was the last thing I was expecting, but I was talking to the male party in the living room and felt movement coming from my boot, looked down and there was a ferret attached to my boot, a pet ferret that had got out of its cage and had found its way over to me, which I was a bit like, I just looked at my tutor and he was like, just shake your leg. So yeah, so that sticks in my mind as a funny moment. There is one incident that I can only ever remember feeling scared at, which was when it was again a domestic in progress on a sleepy Thursday night in Northampton, and myself and my colleague were deployed. We were first on scene and the male was heavily intoxicated and under the influence of drugs, and I remember walking into the house and seeing 5 children sat on the stairs to the right of me, and then looked in the living room and he'd picked up a knife, and that was the only time that I remember feeling real fear in the job. And that moment probably changed the way that I risk assess situations. It's definitely made me more aware when entering domestics, definitely. The best thing about this job is definitely the people you work with and your team, who you work with day to day. So the reason I joined the police was because my father was actually a special constable many, many years ago in another force. I then joined the special constabulary. My brother was already in the force as a self-defence tactics trainer, and we both actually applied for the regulars at the same time. We were both still living at home, so it made for interesting conversation because we trained together and joined together. I think my family, my mum particularly, probably worries quite a lot about me and my brother. My friends find it very exciting and they like listening to war stories that you can tell, obviously within reason. But yeah, I think I'm immensely proud as well. My mum and dad would both say that they're both very proud of me and my brother. I was really concerned when I met my husband actually in the police as well, when I had a baby, and wondering how that was going to impact my career. Actually, the transition back into work has been really good. The force have been really supportive of people that particularly for me, returning from mat leave after having a year off was quite a scary prospect. I did wonder how having a baby as a female officer would impact on my career, but it hasn't. I got promoted when I was actually on maternity leave, so. The force is really welcoming with people from all backgrounds, and there should be no reason why anyone couldn't apply to be a police officer. So at the moment I'm on the neighbourhood policing team. So this morning, for instance, I've just come from doing a Section 23 Misuse of Drugs Act warrant in Northampton. So I've come in, I've briefed, deployed straight to the warrant. We made arrests, we've searched property, we've safeguarded children. So working on the paedophile online team was probably the most rewarding job that I've had in the police, because really you're arrested and dealing with people who are exploiting our most vulnerable in society, which are children. So being able to safeguard children and know that you're going home at the end of the day having done that was the most rewarding thing in the world. I think within the police service you're open to so many different career paths that you can take. When you first join, you do your 2-year initial years on response, but then there's such a wide variety of roles that you can go into. I have no regrets, and I look forward to exploring other departments in my future career. So despite what you see in the media around not enough officers and the risks that we face, it is still the best job in the world. It's not the type of job that you can do and not enjoy, because you wouldn't be able to get out of bed in the morning to do it, but I really look forward to coming to work every day, and it really is the best job in the world.